One of the best debuts in UFC history. Let's break it down. 0.3 speed. McGregor comes out, both arms very long and extended. This is going to invite Brimage to come with longer looping punches and lean forward. And Brimage actually lands a good right hook there, even though McGregor partially gets a deflect with the right shoulder. He goes head, body, head. McGregor looks for that left knee. It misses, but even though it missed, he had his left arm ready to frame immediately. He's circling back towards the centre, and Brimage lands a low kick, pumps his lead hand and then lands a low kick. Good idea, a low kick if someone's coming straight back as the leg trails. Brimage lands a left cross there as McGregor throws his own left cross, but McGregor gets a little bit of shoulder to it, and there's a beautiful front kick from McGregor. That's a really good option for someone coming forward, and as well, that backhand extended long and out, he can pull his arm right down so he can kind of throw that front kick with no wind up. There's a spinning style capoeira kick. He's trying to use it to cut the cage. That's his main strategy, to cut the cage as people get outside his lead shoulder, is he'll spin and look for the hook kick or the back kick. Here, he hits a left cross. Stepping back, keys to that is that he steps back, he doesn't jump back in and nullify his own range. He knows Brimage is coming onto it, so he just has to pop his arm out, and if he has good position, the heel of the back foot up, he can land it solid. They're just small movements in and out and little feints. See how he doesn't wind up this cross much? There's no need because Brimage is extending in. He closes the door with the right uppercut there. Beautiful option as someone charges in. You want to close the door with the lead hand, so use the right uppercut instead of the right hook, which would come inside. There's a beautiful check from McGregor. He's got a longer stance, which makes checking a bit more difficult, so it's always combined with this small jump back. There's a little bit of a right hook, knocks McGregor off balance as his stance gets a little bit narrow and his feet come in a line. It gets him knocked off balance just a little bit. There he's looking for the uppercut. He's always looking for the uppercut in this fight because of Brimage's low stance, Brimage's tendency to bring his head forward when throwing combinations, and obviously he's a shorter guy. There's the uppercut, closes the door with the right hook. The left uppercut lifts his head up into the path of the right hook. We see a lot of times McGregor will miss a little bit or scuff on the temple, but he gets his frames in beautifully. Here, he's looking for that front kick again. Notice how he doesn't shoot his eyes up before that front kick. He doesn't shoot his eyes up to his target. He kept his eyes low, and that managed to sneak the front kick up. If he shot his eyes up, it would have given it away. Long stance helps that forward and back movement. Touches the jab. Even if it doesn't land, it just gives him that sense of range, and it can blind the vision just for a second. Long stance, using little bounces to hide his movement. And there, stepping back, you see how he uses his right hand to guide him into the left cross? That back heel's always up so he can launch that left cross. But again, not loads of power on the left cross. Brimage is providing the power by coming forward, circling towards the centre, away from the power side of Brimage. And that's one of the most beautiful moments of the fight here. I prefer that than the knockout. He lifts his left knee. Brimage kind of tries to dart in. I'm going to actually go back on that one a little bit. So because he's been establishing this front kick, Brimage is going to try and time it. So as he lifts his knee, Brimage throws his left hand, tries to knock that leg down with his right and then throws left. And McGregor slips on one leg and then has beautiful ring craft. Starts to circle back towards the centre of the cage. Doesn't just avoid the punch and stay there. He circles back. He starts rolling with the bolo as a feint. Jab. He's happy to hit the temple or the chin. Rolling that bolo in. Going the lever punch, uppercut to left straight. They work in combination. The left straight makes him duck into the uppercut lifts him up into the straight. Multiple shots with the uppercut, and then using that right hand to guide them into the left hand. This is a really beautiful facet of McGregor's game when he's looking for finishes, is that right hand will guide people into his left so beautifully. He doesn't always throw it as a solid punch, and sometimes the hardest punches you can throw, if you throw both hands really hard, it's not as powerful. Whereas if you touch, just pull with that right hand to leave you into the left, or just pull with that left hand to leave you into the right, it lands with a much more solid punch. Young McGregor, debut, what we saw is his ability to check kicks by stepping back and turning the knee out. We saw that back heel always up, and we did see some of the downsides of that. He got knocked off balance slightly with the right hook a few times, but he was really good at using his shoulders to defend. If you're fighting the shorter man, good idea to use your shoulders to defend because they're going to try and punch over that shoulder to land on the chin. So he just took it up there. Even if he had his hands down, his shoulders were always involved in bringing him that bit of defense. That was his last line of defense. So using that foot movement in and out, if he did avoid, he wouldn't just go straight back to the fence. He'd circle back to the center, and is using that uppercut to lever him into the straight shot or lever him into the right hook. Using these upward shots to get him to stand up, using those shots coming down to get him to lower his level.